Howdy, this is Mark from Real Fragrances for Real Men, and it's a review today of Coven by Andrea Maack. Andrea Maack, she is an artist from Iceland, that's where I live, and she's also got a fragrance line, and Coven is her most recent release, I believe. Coven as in witch's coven, like Coven, and it's a niche fragrance, obviously, not a mainstream designer fragrance. And it is rather special. Let's have a look. So here we have the box with some of the artwork on the outside. It's pretty decent, pretty neat. And open her up to reveal the piece of art on the inside. This is 50 ml EDP Eau de Parfum, so it's pretty damn strong. And the price range is, pretty similar to what you'd pay for an everyday designer fragrance like Armani or a Boss or something like that. If anything, just slightly higher price, but around about the same range. Okay, so here we have the bottle. Pretty neat. And now for the actual fragrance, the actual smell. It is rather special. Let's have a look-see. Okay. Oof, it's strong, for sure. And it's very different, very different. The first thing that I really like about it is that it's nearly not sweet at all. Nearly no sweetness in it. There's a slight note of sweetness just within the top notes, just underneath, but very slight, just a little bit. And fortunately it disappears pretty soon. It's just the top notes and just like a lightly and underneath. Maybe it's the whiskey note that gives it a little bit of sweetness. Perhaps it's some vanilla or something like that. I'm not sure. But you couldn't call it a sweet fragrance. If you most of these mainstream niche fragrances today, like I don't know, Calvin Klein and so on, they are so sweet underneath. They have a pleasant top notes, pleasant fragrance, but underneath it's just sugar water. I'm thinking, how can this be a fragrance for men? This is like this whole metrosexual thing, mishmash sort of thing, half men, half women's fragrance, really. And I don't like it. I like a masculine, fresh, outdoorsy, woodsy sort of smell. And this is just what Coven is. Coven is very green, very woodsy, mossy, fresh, outdoorsy, very masculine. This is apparently or allegedly a unisex fragrance. I don't agree. I think this is masculinity in a bottle. Coven. Alright, so this is probably going to be my new signature fragrance. Frankly, I really like it. This, you know what this reminds me of? When I was nearly still a kid, I was out in this on this Tivoli fun ride thing, and over in Paris or something like that, and there was this ride, this dinosaur ride, where you would ride in the car and there were all these dinosaurs all around and all these green bushes and jungles and everything. So it was like driving through Jurassic Park, basically. And they would spray this fragrance into the air to give you an idea of what the jungle might have smelled like back then. And it was this really extremely rich, moist, super green smell that I never ever forgot, ever since. But I had never smelled it again, ever since, until now. This one reminds me of that a lot. It's this really rich, deep, nearly dark in places, woodsy greenness, freshness, masculine freshness that I love. So personally, I can highly recommend it. But if listening to what I just said, you can probably imagine yourself that this is a love it or hate it sort of thing. Some people might not like it at all. So you might want to try this out before you buy it, not blind buy it. Tastes can differ wildly, so some of you might hate it, some of you will absolutely no doubt love it just like I do. Personally, I can highly recommend it. Silage is pretty decent on this one. You smell yourself and others certainly smell you. The longevity is excellent on this one. It can be like 12 hours plus. You sometimes might smell it on the next day after washing your hands. It sort of can spring back up again at you. So this is a very good bang for your buck as well in a way, and the longevity is just awesome. This is one of those things, one of those fragrances, but I'd be worried that it gets discontinued one day because it's niche, it's too different, it's not mainstream at all. And it's usually most or very often the fate of the best fragrances that they do get either discontinued or reformulated because of some stupid EU rules or some rubbish like that. And then one of the best fragrances ever, one of the most unique fragrances ever has disappeared. So if that should ever happen here, I'm going to get myself some stock of this before, that's for sure. Alright guys, so not to drag this out for too long, this is really all I have to say. If you like fresh, masculine, woodsy, outdoorsy, and different, really distinct, markant as we say, masculine, manly smell, you should check out Coven by Andrea Maack from Iceland, actually. You can get it on our website, mirin.is. I'll tell you what, I'll put a link in the description. You should check it out. I can highly recommend it. This is my new signature scent. This is Mark from Real Fragrances for Real Men, and I'll talk to you guys soon.